99.
99. Here we go, baby. Let's. And welcome to Overtime, brought to you by KingsCast at www.kingscast.net. I'm Keith Kornelek.
And I'm Chris Kalziewski.
Back from Staples Center, another 1 p.m.er. Always a pleasure.
Yeah.
With a nice Kings win.
Yeah, it was awesome. You know, it's a little hazy out here today, but after the Kings win today, the playoff picture is a little more clear.
Indeed it is. So in this episode, we are going to talk about a couple of the games, going to talk about fans and faith, and do a little bubble vision. So settle back, relax, enjoy. It is episode 99 entitled Wayne Gretzky Like. What's happening, Kings fans? 1 p.m. on a Saturday, my favorite time of the day. Dallas Stars in town. Winnable game for the Los Angeles Kings, even though Brad Richardson is your top-line center.
All right, Keith, so played the Vancouver Canucks. You know, obviously in the post-Kopitar era, we're looking forward to this one to see, you know, how we measure up. And, you know, one of those games that did not surprise me at all. We really missed Kopitar and Williams.
Yeah, you talk about measuring up. We did not. It was a rough game. Kyle Clifford had a hit around a penalty kill for 5 minutes, and Matt Green takes one, and they're up. I mean, it was just absolutely awful. The Vancouver Canucks did kind of a clinic for the Los Angeles Kings. Kings lose 4-1.
Yeah, you know, the Vancouver Canucks definitely dictated the pace, I thought, of that game. I mean, the Kings were playing on their heels pretty much the whole time, and, you know, not surprised. This is the best team in the National Hockey League right now, and incidentally, the Vancouver Canucks clinched the President's Trophy, which could be good or bad, in the way you look at it. I think there's only been one team in the last 7 years that's actually won the Cup. That was the Wings, whatever, a couple years ago, where they having won the trophy. So, you know, whatever. It is what it is. Didn't really have any effect on the standings for the Kings, and, yeah.
Whatever. There we go. Coming into today, Dallas Stars in town. Dallas a little bit out of the playoff picture, a couple games back there, so definitely a must-win for them. And, you know, Los Angeles Kings, without Kopitar, was a little rough, but actually the Kings played a very good, tight defensive game.
Yeah, no, I thought so too. This game was being hyped beforehand as the return of Brandon Siegel. Just kidding. Most of us actually forgot who the heck he was. But I remember when I saw him on the Jumbotron, I was like, oh, yeah.
He used to play for us for
guy.
5 minutes.
Exactly. But, yeah, it was one of those games where you didn't really know what was going to happen. But you know, after a boring first period, went into the second. And the Kings have a habit of doing this year, where score the goal, momentum is theirs, and then in less than 2 minutes, I think tonight it was actually a minute and 15 seconds, where Dallas responds and scores right away. Score is even.
Yeah, we really need to get rid of that little tradition there, because
Yeah.
it's a little concerning going into the playoffs. You know, goals by Wayne Simmons, Matt Green for Norris, chipped in there too, and then Dustin Brown, Chris, talk about him for a second, gets the empty netter, but really solid play all around. And he was talking about how we need to step it up as a team, you know, in lieu of, you know, losing Kopitar and Justin Williams. Well, you want to talk about a captain who's, you know, taking words and putting it into action. That's him.
Yeah, there was a couple moments in the third where Hanzus got hit down. It was a clean hit. It was shoulder to shoulder, but it looked a little questionable. I think definitely from everyone on the ice. But he went after the guy right away. And it's God, you love to see this from a captain.
Yeah.
And he also had a couple moments where he took the puck into the zone by himself and was able to set up the play. You know, keep possession. And you know, this is our captain. It's a guy who's stepping up at the right time, and how happy are we to have this guy? And of course, got the empty netter to seal the victory.
Absolutely, you absolutely got to love that. So basically, where we are in the playoff picture, we've been saying this all along. Of course, we're going to make the playoffs. I mean, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, so basically, the Dallas Stars are pretty much out of it. If they lose to Anaheim, they will not make the playoffs. The Kings will, so go Ducks.
Yeah, it's hard to say, but you know what? I'd rather just clinch right now, because they could theoretically not make the playoffs now, even though the chance is very, very good.
99.5% apparently, according to Puck Daddy, if we won today. So
yeah, well, 4 games remain. We got at San Jose on Monday night, and then we play Phoenix back here on Wednesday, and then the back-and-back against the Ducks could be a defining moment to see who they play.
Yeah, the Kings really need 2 points to solidify. They will clinch the playoffs if they get 2 points. So, you know, let's hope that the Stars lose and the Kings win another game. I say why not?
I say why not too. I think they'll take 2 out of the last 4, so.
There we go. Oh.
And we totally called it. All right, Kings fans, so it is 0-0 after the first period. And I like the Kings' chances out there. They're generating some scoring opportunities, checking game really well. 4-3 Kings. So Kings fans, obviously Dustin Brown stepping up, you know, and Jonathan Quick had a solid game today. But let's talk about a couple of the players who have really sort of disappeared. You know, we'll talk about Ryan Smith first. Now, this guy was on pace for 30 early in the season, playing really well, looking like he was going to have a career year. But it's just really disappeared, and he's looking kind of lumbering out there.
He really is. Not a second-line left winger. His net presence doesn't just... I don't know. I don't really see him often in front of the net. Maybe he is, but he's not making a difference. I mean, he's had, like, what? The other game, he had a couple of goals. It's like 2 goals since February, which is, really, really awful numbers. He's only 34 years old.
He's looking like he's 42 out there. He's really slow on the play and really kind of slowing the rest of his line down a little bit. So a little concerning. Obviously, his contributions in the locker room and blah, 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 everything like that as a mentor and as a key veteran who's been to the finals before are invaluable. But scoring-wise, for a guy who's on the second line, we definitely expect more from him. We'll see what happens during the playoffs. But
yeah, the other guy is Dustin Penner. Dustin Penner with... 3 goals in 14 games?
I think it's actually 15 games now. So, but it started off well, obviously with Kopitar in there, and they sort of developed, something solid at the beginning. But since then, I mean, he's really been invisible and also sort of lumbering out there. I mean, is it a conditioning issue? I mean, or are Edmonton fans right by saying, we told you so?
Well, I think Dustin Penner is a good player. I'm not seeing much from him right now, Chris. But then again, I could see him coming back next season, have sort of a Justin Williams-like, scoring thing there. So, I'm not concerned this season because, I mean, everybody here knows my thoughts on how far we're going to go in the playoffs. Not very far. The other guy pointed out to me by a member of the media today, Jack Johnson has 0 goals since he signed his big fat contract.
Yeah, that's concerning. I mean, obviously, we're committed to this guy for the next 7 years, and you hate to see that but sometimes it happens with players when they sign these contracts. But yeah, he has not scored a goal. I mean, we're counting on him. Him and Doughty are our key defensemen, offensive defensemen. So you can't have Matt Green score them all.
Absolutely not. Yeah, I'm not as concerned about Jack Johnson because he's got the talent. He's young. Maybe there's a little bit of the pressure with that contract. I think he'll be fine. Maybe step it up in the playoffs, which would be really nice. So, yep, that's where we're at.
Kings fans, end of the second period. Kings are tied 1-1. They had a really good goal and, of course, crapped the bed and let in one within 2 minutes or whatever it is. I don't know, Sam. I like our chances. 4-3 Kings.
I want to talk about the fans a little bit here. Obviously, we love the fans of the show, whether you agree with us, whether you disagree with us. But lately, there's been a lot of realistic talk from KingsCast. And quite frankly, it's not exactly positive because, I mean, we look at the roster and, we sort of understand hockey. We're getting a lot of, you guys are naysayers, things like that.
You know what? We're huge fans. We've had season tickets for now going on our 7th year. We spend thousands of dollars at Staples Center. We watch every single game. We are reading about the Kings all day long. I mean, we are true fans. And that's sort of been into question because we said the Kings aren't going to make the Stanley Cup. Now, to me, you have every right as a fan to make any prediction you want, but this is an educated prediction. I don't see them winning the Stanley Cup, especially without Kopitar, without Williams for most of that, if we make it that long. So, you know what? I mean, we are true fans.
Absolutely.
Now, you talk about having faith. I know that I have faith in the team that they're going to give it their all. And they're going to have the attitude that we could win and should win,
Absolutely. And I have the faith that we will win a Stanley Cup in the next couple of years. There's a couple of missing pieces, and missing Kopitar is a very huge piece, Kings fans. And, maybe they'll win a game in the playoffs. That'd be really, really nice. But when you look at it realistically, it's not going to happen. And someone online the other day, said, well, they didn't expect the 92-93 Kings to make the Stanley Cup Finals. But they had Wayne Gretzky, Rob Blake, Luc Robitaille, Kelly Rudy, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, it's definitely a team built to win.
Yeah.
But, that said, Kings fans, ease up on us.
Yeah, come on. I mean, we're big fans. We want them to win. We believe that they will win. I just don't see it happening this year. And we here at KingsCast, we're not going to tell you what you want to hear all the time. Watch us or not. But, we're a show that we give our opinions, take or leave it. But let's talk about it offline. Talk about it on Facebook, YouTube, our website. Give us your feedback. I mean, what do you think?
Yeah, well, which brings us to our question of the day. And we say this question in all seriousness, Kings fans. Will the Los Angeles Kings make or win the Stanley Cup?
Yes, please leave your comments and detailed explanations.
Please.
Downstairs. Yeah, nice job. See ya, Stars. Great game for the Kings. Dustin Brown really stepping up in the end. 3-1 win. Playoffs looking pretty good at this point, so it's just a matter of who it's going to be, so go Kings.
All right, so Kings fans, we will be right back at you about Wednesday with a monumental show for KingsCast. It's going to be episode 100 up top.
Up top, yeah, that's right. It's a retrospective show. We're taking a look back at the last 99 episodes. It's been a good ride the last year and a half, so we're excited to show you some old clips, sort of relive some of the magic.
Yeah, it's more for us than it is for you. But, that said, I really hope you do tune in next time. Thanks, as always, for watching. I'm Keith Korneluk.
And I'm Chris Kalzewski.
And thank you for watching Overtime by KingsCast.